Reward the nothing. There's a technique where you reward doing nothing. If you're interested in this, have a look at the video. Reward the nothing. What does that mean? Well, when you have this constant urge to be busy, to be on the go, to be doing things, to be doing a behaviour that temporarily gives you an appeasement of that feeling, and any human behaviour can become addictive. Doesn't mean it isn't good in short bursts, doesn't mean it won't bring you achievements and rewards in some way, but if it's just making you feel safe temporarily and you overuse that behaviour because it's the only way you feel safe, or use it a bit more when you feel distressed or anxious about something, it can become a driver of pain. And it's normally based in focus, intent, and adrenaline and cortisol. So when you're not doing anything, when you're still, and often people find it hard to sit still, the need to be on the go when you've got persistent pain, or you're constantly trying to distract yourself or relieve yourself of the persistent pain. Often people are in the behaviour that blocks the pain but subsequently drives it. So if I give you a simple loop for somebody who feels unhappy about the weight or the body shape or size or something like that, they feel a sense of displeasure, a stressful sensation with the impression of themselves. The fastest way sometimes to soothe that is to eat. If you're eating and it's irrationally chosen, you'll go for something that's maybe not as healthy. That creates adds to the problem that you then interpret as I don't like, and the cycle's complete. It's the same with drink, it's the same with biting your nails, it's the same with workaholic, it's the same with drugs, it's the same with relationships that people chase to feel happy. So it doesn't mean you can't use any behaviour that you choose. We should be able to experience whatever you want to experience in life within the laws of the land and within moderate intensities, but you can't just use them to feel safe. So in moments that you recognise that compulsion, you're going to reward doing nothing. You reward doing nothing. It's a technique in animal training. If you think of dogs, a dog that's really excitable and constantly people are trying to shut the dog down, pull it, tell it off, try and get control of it with external cues. The dog's just seeing that attention as reward. It's seeing the owner jumping around, raising its voice, pulling on a lead, that the stimulation it's given back for being stimulated stimulates it even more. So with an animal, remember the part of the brain that's driving these unconscious patterns of compulsion, a sense of needing to be busy, is the same mechanism as in animals. We are animals. We are animals. If you look on the classification of what we're seen as Homo sapiens, you'll find we're under animals. So if you accept that part of the brain that's unconscious is driven like a dog or like an animal, we can use the same approach, but rather than an owner doing it to a dog, you have to take responsibility for doing it to yourself. But the beauty is this: you keep it small, you reward the nothing. So if you've got this dog that's jumping about, you're pulling on the lead, you're shouting at it, you're frustrated with it, you're annoyed, you're fearful it's going to jump up at someone, outside the environment where the dog would normally do that, you place it somewhere where there is no triggers for that. The dog's still going to be looking for the triggers because that's where it's innately, the breed might be like that, or it might have been trained to be like that, or nobody's controlled it. So you wait for the moment that it is still. You wait for the moment that it's still. And it's in the stillness, as it just calms down, that's when you reward the dog. That's when you reward the dog for being still. If you're applying it to humans, if I was telling you how I did this, so imagine I like to be at work, or I like to be physio, or I like to go for a run, or I like to, do things of achievement, and it gives you a sense of praise. It's very addictive. It's quite toxic if you only feel safe delivering service and achieving things. You can achieve lots and get lots of money and lots of medals and lots of blah blah blah. But if you only do that to feel safe, it could be a bit threatening for the nervous system. So if I recognise that that might be a tendency I have, if there was challenging things in my life, doesn't mean I can't do those things when I choose to, but I can do them out of choice rather than compulsion. So if I took this organism, my 50 trillion cells, and placed it in a chair, when I've got lots of other things in my mind telling me to do, and a body that has nervous neural connections that love the feeling of being busy, then you place the body in a chair for 5 minutes. Now 5 minutes is unbearable for the idea of it, or you can't sit because of the pain. Do 2 minutes. If that's too long, do 15 seconds. Ideally do it without triggering the pain if pain's a problem. But if you can know that it's safe for your body, but you're going to sense the compulsion, sit in that space for a length of time that your mind can control the body and the compulsions to get up and mop the house or clean it from top to bottom or go and do the behaviour of your unconscious choice, and wait and just allow yourself to sit still. And if you can do it for 15 seconds, reward yourself for that. If you can do it for 2 minutes, reward yourself for that. And if you can do it for 5 minutes, reward yourself for that. Reward yourself with a word, with a fist bump, with a deep breath, a sense of reward. And what you're doing, you're creating an addiction to feeling calm. You start to train your brain to enjoy feeling calm. So now it has a choice with temporary pleasure that has to be repeated, or actually a longer lasting state of calm that can be accessed any time that you choose. So if you commit to something like this, out of 7 days, see if you can do it once or twice in 7 days. You always keep the target small. If you think you can do it once a day, have 23 hours, 55 minutes doing whatever you want, but 5 minutes of just being still, and reward the calm. Reward the nothing. Reward the nothingness, and the brain will start to recognise the cues where it happens, and you'll find yourself enjoying that sense of calm. It will be unfamiliar. Your mind will tell you not to do it. It'll say, I haven't got time. It'll say it won't work. It'll say this works for others, but it won't work for me because of my A, B, C, D or E, my label, my pain, my this, my that. They are just thought constructs linked to that internal state that wants you to get up and clean the house from top to bottom, go back to work, or drink, drug, sex, shop and gamble and push hard, or find that behaviour that you've always found before that's driving pain. So you have to commit to know what's happening, be able to predict what's going to happen, and move through those predictions, thoughts and feelings, move through them and sit in that calm for the length of time you can, and reward the nothing. Reward the nothing. You won't believe the other rewards that come with it.